Hello everybody, this is Plywood Cow, and welcome to the Space Jam! Any percent original speedrun in 15 minutes and 59 seconds, done on Xbox Series X. I have found a really great set of strategies to improve on this run that got me past the 16-minute barrier, which I thought was originally going to be the time we were aiming for, and hit 15 minutes, and this is the run for it. First off, we're using the ball a little bit more to combo these nulls to take them out a bit faster. The ball is much better than you think. It's really the key item in this game. Being able to use the ball effectively adds a very interesting layer to this game. That's because you can punch the ball, kick the ball, and it can stun lock or hurt enemies and do additional damage. So while we will sometimes just do a plain punch combo against these enemies, the ball really is useful. So we are also going to be using the strength card for this run rather than the food card. That's going to allow us to break down this door a little bit faster and do more damage in certain spots. Now, if you're learning this run, starting with the food card is not bad because it's going to give you a bunch of health on demand, but if you know what you're doing, you have enough practice, it seems to me that the strength card is the way to go because you're going to be doing a lot more damage for the boss fights. So the nulls, all you need to do is hit them 4 times, do your full 4-hit combo to take them out on this difficulty. So that's why the ball is very useful for that. In this run, we want to be trying to funnel enemies together if possible, and if we don't funnel them together, you need to be able to switch sides effectively. Sometimes you'll see me try to switch between left and right if the enemies get around me, and you could double jump out of the way from getting hit, but running is going to be faster than jumping. So whenever you're about to get surrounded, if you have the space, you want to run away by double tapping left or right. Too bad you can't run up or down. They don't let you do that, so it's always walking. So this is a prime. These things are the bane of your existence if you're running this game, because if you don't effectively do the combo, they're going to grab you and then choke you. Thankfully on original, what you can do is use the AoE spin attack, and that AoE spin attack allows you to get off the choke and actually do some damage to the enemy, the prime. Problem, of course, is you're still going to deal damage to yourself by doing that AoE spin. Coming into the elevator fight here, we're going to see the Jadas for the first time. Now what they do is they'll catch the ball when you throw the ball at them, and you can use this to your advantage. Now the barrels, we want to actually take them out as quickly as possible, and that will allow us to get to the next fight quickly. The Jadas have more HP than the nulls, and because they catch the ball, you need to be aware of that. Now, if you charge the ball, you can make the ball catch fire. And if you do that, then they won't catch it. You can also throw the ball charged in the air, which is a great way to take out enemies in an AoE. Sadly, I screwed up the barrels here, so I lost a few seconds. Turn on the strength power and then just take them all out, because it's a bit crowded when 4 enemies are surrounding you, you might be able to do it a little bit faster by not doing that AoE spin and instead opening with just comboing. The thing is when you turn on the strength power, the enemies go flying when they get knocked in the air, which means they're in the air for longer, and therefore it's going to take longer to take them out. So these are the frops. If you hit them while in the air, they'll immediately die, or if you jump kick or slide kick, which is the running attack for bugs, you will take them out in one hit. Or if you do the AoE spin. So there's options for them. The buckets are really annoying. They're way more annoying on hard difficulty. They just have very awkward hitboxes, so it's best to try to punch loop them when you get to them. There is food in those barrels, but we're going to ignore it because we're not going to need health as much as we used to, and you'll see what I mean when we get to the first boss. So this is a good place to do the AoE spin because there's just a lot of enemies, and it can get kind of messy here. Get to the door as quickly as possible, and we'll move into the next area here. We're going to have a landslide. These rocks fall randomly, so you just need to try to avoid them as much as possible. The tricky thing is that this can change how this first fight goes outside, because the rock fell on the Jada, and depending on if the rubble falls on the Jada or not, you want to throw your ball onto him or not, or throw it somewhere else. And then one more wave, we're going to take out these buckets. So this was a mistake. It probably would have been better to AoE spin. Thing is, I would not have an AoE spin for this boss. So, and if you stand in just the right spot, you can get the floppy disk immediately by throwing, but I messed that up. So here's the brow. Anthony Davis. We have found a way to loop the brow, which is great because this boss can be a real pain. So if you're standing just below the brow, he's going to try and instantly counterattack you, but because you're below him, the counterattack does not hit, and then you can just loop him over and over again, which is really nice. It makes a boss that used to be annoyingly random a complete joke, and given how RNG really affects the end of this run, it's very nice. Make sure to take out that cheese cactus using AoE spin there effectively, since you have a big source of food. And now we're going to head into the next screen. Once again, using the ball to loop the Jada and kick in the frops. We're in Looney Tunes town. I don't know. I don't know what this area is. It's just very Looney Tunes, which is great. I do like the backgrounds in this game. They did a good job making it look good, in my opinion. Now we have the jets. Accidentally got a little too close to open up the jet there. The jet can either shoot fire or throw bombs, and either way we really don't like it, especially when the jet goes off screen. We're going to have some more barrels here. So you can do a cute little trick here. If you use the strength card or any card, that'll cause the final barrel to spawn a little bit earlier. And then when you clear the barrels with the AoE spin, the jet will spawn in and immediately take damage because the spin's still going on. So really cool little trick there. I have a feeling like maybe some of the other barrel parts we could maybe do something like that. Not sure. Maybe the ones in the elevator. That would be really effective if true. Try to run past this jet so you can, again, funnel these guys together. Sadly, the Jada got in front of me. That's okay. understanding the amount of damage you need to do to enemies is key, and if you know that you didn't do enough damage, being able to juggle effectively is helpful. You don't do as much juggling on original difficulty, the normal difficulty, easy difficulty, whatever you want to call it, because enemies have less health, but it's way more relevant on hard. Not gonna make that mistake again. And here's a White Mamba, Diana Taurasi. Thankfully, it opens up by just standing there, so we can get to work. And this was a great fight. No funny business. Very simple with the strength card to take her down a notch. Alright, so we're coming into the tower. This is the hardest level in the game. And the pressure really is on when we get to this part, particularly at the end. So just using AoE, getting some food from the egg and dino bones. Remember, if you're ever on a dig, you can always eat the bones of old animals. I'm sure it'll be really nutritious. Very simple null fight here. No big deal. And then we're going to have some more nulls and a bucket. Again, if you can hit the bucket sooner rather than later, it's always a good idea, because the bombs are just very annoying. Ideally here we'd have the ball, but the thing about this game is things can go a bit off what you expect, and being able to adjust and improvise is important. Gonna use the strength card here again and immediately get kicked in the face. Awesome. As you can see, they get knocked really far, but strength card makes quick work of the enemies, so it has its trade-offs. It's not as useful on original difficulty, in part because enemies just have less health, so the benefit of it is reduced in my opinion, but it's still good. It's still probably the best card if you know what you're doing. And really good positioning for these two enemies. Sadly didn't finish the juggle on that Jetta. So this one, I feel like throwing the ball really quickly at the Jetta and then swapping back over to the Jet is best, but the window for that is pretty tight. You have to be able to turn quickly. And going for jump kicks here on the Frops to make sure we don't get hit in the back of the head while we're attacking the enemies. They're not dangerous, but they're just annoying. Alright, so this screen is the elevator. We need to take out all the enemies that spawn on the ground to clear the screen. The enemy that comes out of the elevator is only relevant for finishing this whole sequence, not for getting through it. So turning on strength and then using the AoE spin just to address them all at once is very effective. And that was a pretty good elevator. Now we're at the bathrooms. A screen that will end your run if you're not good at chaining together these punches. I can't really confirm. I've tried to see, but I can't quite confirm whether it's possible to... Oh wait, stall points! Loop the primes like you do the brow. The whole thing is if you're not punching quickly enough, what will happen is you'll get choked. And there I was just like, I'm about to get choked, so I better just combo them. If you feel like you're about to drop it, it's best just to finish the combo. Not too bad, could be better. Ideally you chain them off screen, but it's not easy. Alright. It's his game now. Algae Rhythm. And that's absolutely true. The RNG on this level can completely make or break your run. and the RNG on this run was incredible. Immediately going into the hands after one attack is ideal, and we get a very fast phase 1. LG can shoot balls from the screen and do a hand swipe or shoot like a, I don't know, a wave of balls across the screen as well. And to get it like this is really good. Of course, I'm not going to be able to do it in one fist stomp, but again, just incredible luck here. So even though this run had some major issues, or, well, I wouldn't say major, but certainly some issues throughout, the RNG here was so good that I was like, wow, I'm really cruising here. So we're getting a wave attack. Just avoid it, no problem. And look at that. That's I missed the hand swipe, but it did not matter. LG was being so nice to me. This is the nicest I've ever seen this boss. He can decide to just do attack after attack after attack after attack that you can't connect. There we go. That's it. Thank you, LG Rhythm, for your luck. It's very sweet. And there we are. The Toon Squad has defeated the big robot, and we get our 15 minutes and 59 seconds IGT original difficulty run. Fantastic. I thought 16 was possible, and it is possible. In fact, it's so possible that 15 is possible, and I skipped right over 16. I was very hyped to see that 15:59. This will be a very difficult run to beat because you need to have good luck on the final boss, or excellent execution throughout the entire run and just decent luck on the final boss. Really happy to have found that punch loop on the brow, which is probably my biggest contribution to this game, I would say. It has opened up this game a bit. There's still bad luck that can hit you on the final boss, but at the very least we removed a huge luck factor earlier on in the game, or at least made it not as bad. You still have to get into position to do the punch loop, and you can't control the brow so much. So thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you next time on the next run. Take care.
That's all, folks.